All you ever wanna do is play. So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. Yeah, well, we can hold the peace or we can wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Real gang, that's a crew name. We all graduated to the two-door. Sacred Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest in. I'm tired of niggas, they frontin' they blessings. They want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one life, but you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king of apology.
You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empires fall, my legacy grows. I might just hop on this melody flow. All this vision, no clarity though. Y'all play a game that I bear in my soul. Ebony ivory, nobody knows. Business vasectomy, nothing can grow. Everyone promises more than they actually do. We don't deliver on anything other than truth. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
You really have people fooled out here, don't you? When are you peasants gonna learn that you can't pretend to be a king? It ends today.
Hey, yeah, whoa, yeah, coming at me like that, like whoa, yeah, coming at me like that, like whoa, I don't even feel like that, like whoa, you ain't even see my stacks, like whoa, we up on the sea, but that's my bow, coming at me like that, like whoa, coming at me like that, like whoa, coming at me like that, like whoa, coming at me like that, like wish that I care, but I don't, and I swear if you want, we can flow, coming ready for the smoke, murder she wrote, but I don't even dare, I got places to go, coming ready for the show, sacred the goat, we got royal affairs, we gon' win on the low, coming ready for the glow, you taking notes, have a seat, take a chair, you may think that we cold, coming ready for the snow, try to bear the weight, but it's too heavy, try to get away, but it's too deadly, gotta keep it sharp so we stay edgy, can I get ahead so we stay ready, coming at me, that sad, that's joke, I cannot believe these lies, I'm woke, all that agree, but why you broke, when y'all need, come get your folk. I actually soar over these waves, when I get paid, I gotta know, people to pay, places to go. Watch what you say, watch what you coming at me like that, like whoa. I don't even feel like that, like whoa. You ain't even see my stacks, like whoa. We up on the sea, but that's my bow. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like I don't ever sit back, I'ma go and get that. I just wanna give back, people call me Big Black. I just got my whip back, asked me when I got here, told her that I've been back. Brought a couple wins back, double cup of no act. I don't really have beef, but I'm still a Big Mac. And you know I got green, now we bridging the gap. Flow with me and my team, cause we know how to scrap when you making a scene. Came up from the dirt, yeah I know my worth. No I will not sell, niggas gotta work. Do not kiss and tell, no I do not serve. But I'll ride these waves, so get up off my turf. I actually soar over these waves. When I get paid, I gotta know people to pay, places to go. Watch what you say, watch what you coming at me like that, like whoa. I don't even feel like that, like whoa. You ain't even see my stacks, like whoa. We up on the sea, but that's my bow. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like
Nice.
He's on fire! Boom shakalaka!
I got no cap. I make this money, it comes out on tap. Trying to stay private, but I got them groupies. Owe me in private, but don't get all choosy. Bust out the bubble and in with the newbie. FTLOG on the top of the blue jeans.
He's heating up!
I got the rubies, I got the rubies, I got the rubies. She call me Captain, but I got no cap. I make this money, it comes out on tap. Trying to stay humble, but I get real moody. Try not to stumble, but she a real cutie. Bust out the bubble and in with the newbie. FTLOG on the top of the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies.
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 3182 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in that realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you bees. All right, fam, welcome to the show. Hashtag Make America Swole. Drop that in the comments. Hashtag Make America Swole. It's a great day in the USA, beaches. If you were here yesterday during our epic inauguration live stream, that was a Beastcast. It was awesome. I know everyone's kind of hungover from all the America. Shout out to the Gulf of America. Let's give a nice round of applause. Renaming the fuck out of this world. Shout out to America 2, America 3, and America 4. Soon to be. Happy to be here and stoked. Yesterday was a great day. Today is a great day as well. As most of you already know, a lot of executive orders have already gone through. Too many to list, and I'm sure today a lot more stuff is going to come through. Team Trump and Team America getting right to work. So super stoked about that. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. We're live on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole. And of course, YouTube stream cut out yesterday because YouTube's a bunch of cucks. We know that. But you can catch the full stream on Spotify. You can catch it on Rumble. And of course, we're back again. Maybe we'll get flagged again, but maybe not. Make sure you subscribe on all the channels. Check out swolenormousx.com to join the fam today. We got awesome membership specials there. And we're going to get right back into it. So we're going to get into those Swole fam posts. We will go over some questions. We'll load up Instagram Live. And of course, we will also go balls deep as we oft to do. So let's get into today's episode. Are you ready, Beaches? Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, first Swole fam post of the day.
What's in the box?
Getting back. The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of... Fake out. Hit the wrong button. It's all right. Let's give a nice round of applause for Freddie, please. This goddamn bird. The buttons, Freddie. Not the NOC intro. The buttons, Freddie. Joanne's post. My goodness. I done myself a bit of mischief 3 days ago. Seems my leg day was far too much. I'm still experiencing a lot of fatigue and soreness in my legs. Guess I'll be changing that programming before the next leg session. I've been doing yin yoga each day, and this morning, despite feeling sore and sorry, it's time to stop crying about my legs and to get some gains. Chest day today and feeling surprisingly good with it despite the overall fatigue. Glad I pushed myself to do this. Yin would have been nice, but I feel better about getting the work done. I can yin tomorrow. Well, best of luck to you, Joanne. Make sure that you're managing your fatigue. It happens sometimes. Sometimes you overshoot. Sometimes you do a little bit too much volume. You push a little bit too hard. And this is why it's important to pay attention, tweak things, adjust, and adapt, and keep on moving forward. So you learn, right? You do too much. You fatigue yourself. You feel a little bit more wiped out than normal. Maybe you didn't sleep good. Maybe you did too much volume, whatever it is. And then you take that information and import it for next time. You make the proper adjustments and then you do better. So good for you. Ryan says, hey, y'all, I got a few diet questions. I basically have already done the elimination diet. Pretty much done everything on that list just based on my own research and personal experimenting over the past few months. And the thing I'm pretty sure made the biggest difference in how fatigued I felt was eating grain-fed burgers. At least I believe they were grain-fed because it did not say anywhere on the package about grass-fed beef, but they were 100% beef on the ingredient list. Has anyone else experienced extreme fatigue eating grain-fed beef? I never thought it would make this big of a difference. I figured carbs and sugar were the main contributors to inflammation and fatigue. Someone please give your opinion. Well, I will definitely give my opinion. Now, in terms of the food, if everything else is being the same, I wouldn't say it's necessarily common, but it's definitely logical. It is common. Most people won't recognize it because they're eating a lot of other things that are gumming up their system. So if you're eating a lot of foods, seed oils and stuff that might be causing inflammation, you might not notice the specifics of... Most people are not paying attention to what's in their food, period, let alone grass-fed and finished versus conventional feedlot beef. So if you're not plugged in, you're not going to notice these nuances. Plus, if there's a lot of other things in your system that could be causing inflammation, you might not notice this because there's a few things. So you might change the beef. Well, I didn't notice any difference because you're still eating seed oils, you're still eating high fructose corn syrup or whatever else it is. Once you get your things and your ducks in a row, you'll notice more of the nuances the more consistent you are. This is why pillar number 7 of the 7 pillars of Swolenormous is consistency. And the more consistent you are, the more you'll notice those nuances of what you tweak and what you adjust. Maybe you take magnesium in the morning and you notice that you feel better when you take 500 milligrams versus 750 versus a gram, or maybe less is better. You like to spread it out during the day. These are things that you can test. Believe it or not, you can test. There's no absolute, you have to do it this way, but there's nothing wrong with trying different things. Try it at night for a few days. Try it at night and in the morning. Check things out. Test things out. But this is something that does exist. Sometimes people have a lot of sensitivities. Some people have a lot of sensitivities, and when they eat let's say chicken that is fed corn and soy, they notice they have problems. They have eczema, they have psoriasis or something that rears its ugly head, and they notice when they eat grass-fed beef, they don't. These are things you have to observe and test. And sometimes, like I said, if there's a lot of variables, confounding variables, you might not be able to tease that out. But it is important to understand that the quality of the food that you eat matters. That's really what matters the most. And grain-fed beef is sick. It's sick, poisoned meat. These are sick and poisoned animals. They're not eating what they're supposed to eat. Unfortunately, and I've been saying this for years, grass-fed beef, grass-fed and finished beef should just be called beef. And the other ones should be called poisoned and grain-fed and shit beef. But it's the opposite. We have to specify, hey, these animals ate what they're supposed to eat. It's ass backwards, but it is the way it is. And like I always say, you don't need RFK or Trump being inaugurated or anything like that to make these changes. The easiest thing to avoid are seed oils. The easiest thing to avoid are vegetable oils. You have to cook your own food and pay attention to what the ingredients are. Use tallow, use butter, and make those positive changes. So I wouldn't say that it's unheard of, Ryan. It's quite not unheard of, but everyone's sensitivity to these things are different. And for me personally, grass-fed and finished beef makes all the difference, and I notice it. I notice the taste. I notice how I feel. So once I've gone grass-fed and finished beef, I haven't really gone back, and it makes a big difference. So if you notice that, Ryan, absolutely make those changes, and you'll see the benefits. You guys can drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Elizabeth says, never had an issue with grain-fed after eating grass-fed for a while, except for taste. Depends on where the grain-fed is coming from, too. And of course, when you get, let's say, feedlot beef or grain-fed, you don't necessarily know where it's coming from. And understand that ground beef, and think about it this way, too. Anytime you're getting ground beef, it's not from one cow. So even if you're getting it from a place that does grass-fed and finished beef, you're getting ground beef from tens or hundreds of different animals. It's all mixed together, right? It's I wouldn't say the leftovers, but it's all the lean meat and or the fat that they're not using for ribeye and for other specific cuts. So you're getting many, many different cows. If you go for grain-fed or these massive feedlots, chances are you're getting even more different animals in one burger. So you're getting a lot of a blend. You're getting a lot more of different types of animals. So in my opinion, when you're eating ground beef, it's even more important to get grass-fed and finished beef. But of course, you want to do the best that you can. And if you're trying to eat grass-fed and finished and you want to save some money, buy in bulk. But ground beef is great. Grass-fed and finished ground beef is less expensive than ribeye or New York strip or something like that. You can get leaner cuts, you can get roasts and get more in bulk and use crock pots and stuff like that to save some money. But it's all good. Ground beef is great. You're getting tendons and ligaments. You're getting a lot of connective tissue and collagen and stuff that you might not get in other cuts. And things like a New York strip where you have that thick, unique tendinous edge to it. All these different aspects of different parts of the animal are important. So yeah, these are things to think about. Remember, just like you look at a human, oh, that person's healthy. You want your animals to be healthy. You want them to be eating the proper things too. All right, let's get into, we're going to move right along. Let's see. Loretta says, people I know, they think they're fine eliminating fast food. White bread is the worst. People eat it twice a day and think nothing of it. And again, when someone says they're eating clean, Papa Swolio, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm eating clean. I'm eating healthy. And then what happens when I ask them what they're actually eating? Everyone in the Swole fam cringes, right? Let's say we're bringing up the Instagram live stream and people are eating quote unquote clean. And you might have this with family members or friends or people. Maybe you're a personal trainer. Maybe you're at the gym. You're talking to your gym buddy and they say that they eat clean. They don't know why they're struggling. And then they tell you what they're eating and you're thinking, well, that's not what I think of when I say I eat clean or I eat properly. This is why the elimination diet's important. This is why customizing your nutrition is important, because when people say that they're eating clean, a lot of times they're eating toxic garbage. So clean is subjective, and humans are going to justify their terrible habits, especially if they know that they're terrible habits. They're going to justify it in any way possible. So when someone justifies something, it's clean or it's part of my nutrition, they might be factoring in cheat meals and drinking alcohol and all these different things, but I'm eating, quote, clean. Well, just because you think you're eating clean or you wish you're eating clean or you want what you're eating to be, quote unquote, clean doesn't mean that it's proper for you. All right, let's get into it. Drop your questions in the comments down below. We will take some knowledge talk. And of course, if you're not on the email list, go to makeemailswoleagain.com. That's makeemailswoleagain.com. Get on the email list. And if you are interested in submitting a question, if you want to call into the Daily Swole podcast, those of you that are live on Instagram, you can subscribe to the Daily Swole podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcast. And you can call into the show. Just go to askpapaswolio.com. We're live on Rumble and YouTube, and we're available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So make sure you leave a 5-star review, subscribe to the channels. Links are in my bio on Instagram. And of course, askpapaswolio.com. You can call into the show, and happy to feature you on an upcoming episode. Let's get into some Instagram questions in stories, live stream, and we'll take them on YouTube and Rumble as well. Oliver Hall says, I bought a big freezer and will buy half a cow from a local farm. It's expensive up front, but cheaper long term. That's all it means. It is cheaper. You have to think about how much it is per pound. So if you factor that in, Oliver, you're probably getting $4 or $5 a pound for beef. And of course, you might be spending $500 or $1,000 up front, but then you're not buying beef next week or next month. It might be 6 months or a year before you buy beef again. And remember, when you do that, when you buy half a cow, you might still buy some grass-fed and finished beef from the local supermarket. But when you want to have a roast or you want to have a steak, you already have that from the cow. It doesn't mean you can't purchase other things small in individual quantities. Maybe like, hey, I just want some grass-fed, some ground beef. I didn't have a time to thaw it, and I'm just going to go by the store and get a couple pounds of beef and make some burgers. You can still do that. It's not like you can't purchase other things, but you're buying in advance. That way, overall, your cost decreases. So it's smart. Mark says, how much do you want to bet that Biden showed up for work today?
Come on, man.
Can you imagine if he shows up like, oh, that's right. I'm not here anymore. Oh, okay. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, my God. I know yesterday was the inauguration, but to sit here and realize that Biden, that old crony, is no longer in office, the Biden crime family is out. Let's get another America for the Swole fam. I love it. Oh, America can breathe again. All right, question. Let's take this one from Instagram stories. Let's see. PJ McCarthy, Papa, what do you think about almonds? I don't eat them. I think they're probably the most very overrated. Very overrated. They don't taste good if you have raw almonds or something like that, or almonds that are just plain disgusting, gross. I'm not a fan of walnuts or almonds. Very overrated. In terms of what almonds do, they require tons of water, so they're terrible for the environment. You're better off just eating a steak. If you're an environmentalist, almonds is not the way. But I would fervently avoid almond milk, avoid all that's almond butter. All that stuff's crap, in my opinion. You're better off eating eggs and beef, getting your healthy fats and proteins from that regard. I haven't had almonds in a long time. I don't miss them. Never liked them. Very overrated. It's a big vegan push. They're not better for the environment. They're in fact much worse than beef. And Hatsky, is walking good exercise too? Walking's great. Get your steps in, move more, but walking is not going to replace going to the fucking gym. So make sure you lift heavy weights, eat properly, sleep, follow the 7 pillars, and then you can walk. Nothing wrong with that. Tabhashim, Papa Swole, do you recommend bulking and cutting cycles to gain muscle then lose fat? No, you don't have to do any of that stuff. And understand that you don't want to bulk or cut. This is just about building muscle. You want to build muscle all the time. And you can. You can build muscle and trim down fat over time. This is going to come down to your body composition. This is going to come down to what you're consuming in terms of a caloric surplus or maintenance. You could build muscle in a maintenance. As you build muscle and as you lay more contractile proteins, you can increase your protein intake. You can slowly increase your calories. You don't need a 500 calorie surplus to put on muscle. That's just nonsense. So you can really eat around maintenance. And if you see your performance going up, very unlikely that you're going to be building muscle if you're not increasing strength. So focus on increasing your rep strength and your weight strength, right? Increasing reps, increasing the weight of what you're lifting, keeping all conditions the same in your programming. And as you see your strength improving, and you'll see if your calories are the same and your proteins the same, and you see your weight slowly creeping up, you can gauge that accordingly. You don't have to get fat to put on muscle, nor should you. Don't call it lean bulking. Just focus on putting on muscle. Focus on putting on muscle. Most people that are fat, they don't have muscle. People that are skinny don't have muscle. Skinny fat, low muscle mass. If you improve your muscle mass, you're going to improve your insulin sensitivity. That's really what you want to be focusing on. John says, quality nutrition is an investment. My budget is assembled for my food first and foremost. That means no useless subscriptions. Look, people can afford more than they think. They just might not be able to afford Disney Plus and Netflix and Hulu and Paramount Plus and all these different things and eat grass-fed and finished beef. But people without thinking will go and buy a Monster energy drink for $3, $4, or $5, but they'll, oh my God, grass-fed and finished beef is $6.99 a pound. They make excuses to not spend the money where it counts. So that's their fault. Yes, Oliver, that's one of my most viral videos ever. And this was before videos. Now when people get 5 million or 10 million views on a video, it's kind of standard virality because so many more people are online. But I had a video that went like 5 or 10, the You're Fat video. Oliver says, I've heard Papa say this. People freak out about the quality of gas and oil they put in their car, but they don't give a fuck about what they put in their body. Yeah, this is people buffing their cars and waxing and putting on rims on their cars and making sure that their car is vacuumed and they got it detailed and all this, that, and the other. And then they eat fast food and garbage. I see Lamborghinis at a McDonald's drive-thru. It's disgusting. People care more about the car than they do their body. So it's a shame. It's a shame. The worst thing is seeing someone that is quote unquote successful and they have a nice car and they have money and they're fat. It's like, that's gross. That's gross. That's not a flex. That's disgusting. Tatum, you should put quinoa in your body. Oh, absolutely. I will not. I will not do that. I prefer to consume valuable nutrition. Quinoa is good branding. That's good branding, though. Don't eat that shit. Why are you eating that? Make the argument for quinoa over a steak. You can't. Discipline tips. Follow the 7 pillars. Get consistent. This is from Instagram. Dare Kupik. Go to the fucking gym and do it again and do it again. All right. Good question over here from Nicole. How do you deal with anxiety? My recommendation for anxiety is to have a plan and execute. So anxiety is stressing about something that hasn't occurred yet. And a lot of times people worry about something in the future because they're not taking any action. So instead of taking action and setting a plan, they just worry about it. Oh my God, this is going to happen. Oh my God, what if this happens? Oh my God, what if this happens? Well, why don't you set a plan and execute on that plan? Then you don't have to worry. You're doing what you need to do. You're doing what you should do or what you can do to solve the problem. So if the problem arises, you're taking action. No need to be anxious about it. You're dealing with the issue. So maybe journaling, writing down what you're actually stressed about or what the actual thing is, and then actually writing down what you can do. What would be a plan that would solve that issue or prevent that issue from being an issue, and then do the things on that list that would solve that issue, and then you don't have to be anxious. Meditation also helps, but meditation and journaling is kind of like the same thing that I'm talking about here, Cerny. So that's a good way to maybe get these thoughts out, get these issues out on paper so you can rationalize them on paper. When it's in your head, it just bounces around. If you start writing these things out, they're usually not as overwhelming, or it makes them more analytical and more logical. Oh, I put it on paper. Okay, here's the thing. What can I do? These things. Guess what? Do those things. Problem solved, or at least mitigated, or at least you're in the right direction. Loading user. How big are your biceps, senpai? Ask your mom. She loves caressing them. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
BKA says, so I got a gym membership today and I'm starting tomorrow, but I honestly feel a little shy about just having to go there because of how many people are there. It's so cramped, I can barely park. Okay, well, you'll get over it. Again, being nervous about going to the gym and people looking at you, you just have to go through it. Go through those difficult things. And if you have a plan going into the gym, a lot of it is people are going to be looking at me and judging you. No one cares. No one cares. If I see someone in the gym and they're obese and they're working hard, like if you're obese and you're in the gym, guess what? You're in the right fucking place. That's where you're supposed to be. I will never look at someone and be like, oh, look at that fat fuck. No one's thinking that. They're thinking like, get after it, dude. Good for you. And if I ever saw someone that was doing something blatantly wrong, I might go over and introduce myself and be like, dude, you're crushing it, man. Can I make a suggestion though? Usually people that are there will welcome a suggestion. Hey, can I show you the way that I do it, that I like it even better? I used to do it that way, but if you make this adjustment, do you mind? And they'll be like, yeah, show me. you're more muscular, you have results that I want, I will listen. And a lot of people are receptive to that. So if someone's doing something wrong or that could be harmful to them, I might go make a suggestion or make small talk, but no one's looking at you and thinking down on you. If that ever occurs, that's not a good gym. There are some situations, sometimes there are quote bullies or people that are, I don't know, taking steroids or in there and they're amped up and they're aggressive and they're just kind of like assholes, but those are more far and few between than people think. The whole meathead and aggressive alpha dude that's in the gym, it's more of a myth. It's more of a myth and a cliche than actual reality. Most of the big dudes in the gym that are training hard, they train hard for a reason. They're trying to improve themselves, and everyone that started somewhere. So I remember what it was like when I first started. I remember doing stuff in the gym, and I wish I had some insights when I first started that would have helped me avoid some of these pitfalls. That's why I have this show. That's why the Daily Swole exists. That's why we've done almost, 3,200 episodes. It's because avoiding you, and that's what SwoleNormousX.com, that's what the Swole fam does. It's just helping all of you avoid certain pitfalls that I've observed over the years. I wish I had the Daily Swole and Swole Enormous X when I first started lifting, but I didn't, but now you do. So everyone's in the gym for the same reason. I mean, I shouldn't say the same reason, but everyone's there to build muscle and to train hard and to, go after their demons and improve and all that stuff. No one's in the gym to get worse, right? No one's in the gym to be worse off when they leave or to make no progress. People are in the gym to make progress. Just not everyone in the gym is doing the things that would ideally help them make progress. So that's what we do. All right, drop your questions in the comments down below. Nico Swalled 11, Papa, what are your thoughts on the 75-day hard challenge? Hey guys, what do you guys think my thoughts are on the 75-day hard challenge? I'm considering do it again as I lost 50 pounds last year when I did it. Let me ask you, Nico, how come you're not doing it now? You did it last year, you lost 50 pounds. Did you put that weight back on? How come you didn't stick with it? How come you didn't stay consistent? I don't like this kind of protocol. I don't like anything with a short sprint. Not that I think exercise is bad or drinking water is bad or reading a book is bad. I do all those things, but you need something that's going to be 365. It's 365. It's a lifestyle. So all these temporary sprints are good for the beginning of the year. They get memed. Very few people see results on them. Very few people stay consistent because it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic to maintain. So does fitness work? Sure. Does eating properly work? Yes. But I don't agree with any of those 75, 30-day challenge. I don't like those things. So that's why we have Swole Enormous X, because we want to keep you on every day, no matter what. Whether it's the holidays, whether it's July, whether it's January, whether it's March. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is, what month of the year. It doesn't matter where you are in your life or in your experience. You need to take your shit to the next level, and you need to do something that you're able to be consistent with long term. So there's a reason why you're not currently doing it. It's because you couldn't maintain it. So there's something fundamentally wrong about that mindset and approach. Nico, I was doing the paleo diet on it and got great gains. I usually still go to the gym 5 to 6 days a week. So if you're not seeing consistent progress, it's your programming. So you just need to get on better programming. Otherwise, you're going to have this conversation with me next year. Like, hey, I did this last year. Should I do this again? Why aren't you seeing the progress that you like doing what you're currently doing? Just trying to tease that out here. I'm not telling you what to do. But you might want to check out the Swole Enormous app, check out Swole Enormous X if you're interested in a programming. If you're not making consistent progress with your training, it's because you're exercising, you're not training. And this is why having a program is important, because you want to make sure that you're not doing stuff you don't need to do, just as much as you want to make sure you're doing the right things. And the right things, there are a lot of different exercises that work. For chest, for shoulders, for legs, it's not that complicated. People overcomplicate these things. It's not that complicated. You got to pick a couple exercises for a body part, train hard, progressively overload, simple, end of story. But a lot more people are doing things they don't need to do, which is leading to extra fatigue and negatively affecting their hormones. They're eating things that they shouldn't be. There's a lot of other factors, but the exercising is actually the simplest part of it. Good burp. Oh, come on now. That's great. That was awesome.
First, Take a big step back.
That felt good.
And literally fuck your own face.
This feels good to let it fly. I think I lost like half a pound on that one. Sydney Buckaloo. What's up, SB? Pop, I have a friend who is obsessed with doing 75 hard. So much so that when she got into a car accident and couldn't complete her tasks, she fell into a depression until she could do it again. See, this is part of the things that can be an issue, is that from what people have told me and from what I've seen about 75 hard, it becomes like a compulsive thing. It's very much in line with CrossFit and people that feel like they have to be wiped out and exhausted in order to have results, right? They have to push themselves to the limit physically, David Goggins style, and be wiped out in order to have a good workout. So then what you're doing is you're chronically just wiping yourself out every day, and it's going to stunt your progress. And if you're going from doing nothing to doing the 75 hard, sure, you'll see some results, but it can also really shut you down. You can really hit that wall. And that's why it's called 75 hard, not 365, because it's not really maintainable long term, nor is it ideal to, in my opinion. So that's unfortunate, Sydney. I don't know how many other, but I guess it's like anything else. Most people quit. Most people don't continue with whatever they do. So for most people, the reason why they do the 75 hard is because they're not going to continue a different program either. They're going to fall off no matter what. I'm not talking about Nico or who was asking me about 75 hard. I'm just saying in general, overall, most people are going to fall off and stop doing anything, right? Most people are not going to follow through with most things. That's why I have the card, famous Swole card. Most people don't. Most people are not going to be consistent. Most people are going to quit. Most people are not going to do or follow through anything, no matter what it is. It's always going to be a smaller percentage of people, of all the people that start exercising, of all the, most people aren't going to follow through. It just is what it is. Sydney, I don't like admitting this, but trying 75 hard and the Goggins mentality really just made me feel like a huge failure. If you're comparing yourself to, I don't want to say necessarily extraordinary, you're comparing yourself to a single individual. Everyone's different. What might have worked or been right for David Goggins is right for him. It's not right for everyone or right for anyone. I don't think it's right for anyone else but him. And he got famous doing what he did. He didn't necessarily do it to be famous. That's just his journey, and he shares it. And he's inspired a lot of people. There's nothing wrong with what he does in terms of what he's shared. He's helped a lot of people break through that mindset, but trying to copy what he does is ludicrous. I'm not even telling people to copy what I do. I'm just trying to get you to the fucking gym and start taking care of your community, right? I'll bring up the 7 pillars on the screen. I don't think that's outlandish. I'm not trying to get you to do things that are that crazy. I want you to eat real food. I want you to get on a quality program. I want you to start curating your environment and the people that you surround yourself with. Get some fucking sleep, practice some yoga, touch your damn toes once in a while, right? Do some mobility, sit there for a few minutes, be more mindful and present, and just do that every day. That's a 7 fucking pillars. And of course, it's going to look different. It's not that crazy, is it? I don't think it's that ridiculous. I think it's pretty simple. Simple doesn't necessarily mean easy. You just have to implement these things. And it's okay to get inspired, or to maybe on a day, Sydney, that you don't feel like training, you can bring that up. Like, well, David Goggins, like, I don't feel like training, but I should. I'm like, oh, I'm just kind of dragging ass. And he'd be like, stop being such a fucking pussy. And you're like, yeah, I got to go to the fucking gym. Cool. Like, use it when you need to. You don't have to try to copy literally what he does, right? Oh, don't put XRP in the comments. Don't buy those shit coins. Don't fuck around with that stupid crypto stuff. Bitcoin's the truth. Don't shit coin in my comments. Don't do that. Not today. Not today. I'm not in the mood. Ripple chodes. KYY Scotty. Papa Solio, struggling to know what to eat to gain muscle. Suggestions. Yeah, join Soulnormous X, join us, and go through the elimination diet and customize and individualize your nutrition. And if you don't want to do that, then you don't really care about being healthy and making gains. That's a very simple answer. You can build muscle eating a lot of different things, but there's certain foods that are going to not cause you adjacent problems like inflammation and all sorts of stuff. Dencor, Papa Swolio, your videos give me motivation to go to the fucking gym, and sleeping properly. Also great comedy. Well, thank you. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for the support. Now go to the fucking gym and then go to sleep. Don't be a chode. Don't be a chode. All right, more questions. Drop in the comments. Jari RS, Yadi, Papa Soli, I'm definitely not fat, but I eat a lot of unhealthy things. What are some of your favorite healthy snacks? Okay, we get a lot of questions about snacking. I say eat real food. And you can have, I mean, look, what is a snack? It's eating the real food that you should be eating in smaller quantities. So you can have a glass of kefir. You can have some dates. You can, hey, I'm going to work out. Let me have a little snack. It's a tablespoon or two of raw local honey or something. So it's just the same amount of food. Maybe a snack might be, hey, I have some leftover steak in the fridge. I just have a couple bites. That's a snack. You should be eating the same foods. It just depends on the quantity. So you're definitely not fat, but you eat a lot of unhealthy things. You have a long way to go, mister. A snack is just eating a small quantity of quality food. Let's see here. Charlie Brown Fit. What's one of your realizations when it comes to being vocal? All right, let me read this slowly. What's one of your realizations when it comes to being vocal and not placating peer/family opinions? Realizations when it comes to being vocal and not placating peer and family opinions. It's been a I mean, I've never really done that, but it's my realizations, or what I can tell you, like a truth about it, is that their opinions don't matter. So understand that whatever you put out there, whatever you say, you're going to get reactions from it. So my recommendation is just keep your mouth shut and execute. Do your thing. You don't have to preach it to people. You don't have to. Now, sometimes you'll be well received. Sometimes you will talk about the elimination diet. You'll talk about Swolenormous X. You're like, hey, check out this guy's videos. He tells people to go to the fucking gym. You'll share the podcast. You might talk about what you're doing with your training. And sometimes you might have a family or friend. You might have people that really like to hear it, and they start implementing. You do it too. Your husband or girlfriend or boyfriend or wife might be on board, and you do it together. That's great. That's great. I would say it's less common for people to jump on board right away. It's more common for people to resist or to not want to change their habits and give like a negative initial opinion on it because they don't want to change. They want to stay comfortable in doing the same shit. They're more comfortable with failure because they're used to the failure. They're used to being stagnant, so that's their comfort zone. So my recommendation is generally, if you believe in something and you've done the research and you've put in the work, just do it. Bottom line, you have to do it for yourself so you're not a hypocrite. But a lot of people are going to have opinions. They're going to say, hey, why don't you come out to eat this crap? Or why are you always bringing your food? Or are you always going to the fucking gym? You're always doing this. It's like, distance yourself from these people that are holding you back. It's harder when you live with them, but you need to make sure you isolate psychologically and go internal in some of these places. You don't have to share what you're doing. You just put your head down and fucking do it. Let's get some feedback on that. I know a lot of you deal with that stuff. Nicole, how to strengthen your mental health, how to stay disciplined. You stay disciplined by doing it. If you have purpose, a lot of people fall off because they don't really have purpose. And you strengthen your mental health by strengthening your physical health. They're connected. They're not separate. They're one and the same. It's the same body. So you can fortify your mind by strengthening your body and vice versa. So you can meditate, you can practice direct mindfulness, but also pushing yourself through difficult things with a low time preference. When you're training hard, you're thinking long term. You're not getting results in that moment. So you're doing a lot of things and focusing on A, B, and C so you can have X, Y, and Z in the future. I eat a certain way and I train hard and I do these things so I could build muscle in the future. I'm not building muscle today. I am training so I can make progress into the future. So most people do things from a point of instant gratification. They're not thinking long term. They're not thinking with a low time preference. So you have to consider that. Mark says, I just ignore them. A lot of my family are in the sick care field and will give advice, but won't take it themselves. A lot of them are either over or underweight. John says, bottom line, lay off the social media and do the 7 pillars. Body dysmorphia is unnecessary. Don't waste time on it like I did. You're smarter than that. I like that. All right, let's see. Sydney, Papa, how do you feel about someone who has pre-diabetes consuming fruits and honey? I would make sure if you're lifting weights and doing these types of things, you might not have an issue, but I would generally be mindful of consuming that, even if you already have an issue with insulin sensitivity, lifting heavy weights, leaning more towards carnivore, in my opinion, to reverse that and to improve your insulin sensitivity in the short term. Just be mindful of what you're consuming. I wouldn't go nuts with fruit and honey if you already have insulin resistance issues. How long you been lifting heavy weights? What's your other nutrition like in your sleep and this, that, and the other? Again, we're talking about carbohydrates, and there's nothing wrong with carbohydrates, but if your body has issues processing carbohydrates, you should be mindful of that, yeah? You ever done a continuous glucose monitor or anything like that? And just because you're not eating, let's say, a certain foods might elevate your blood glucose and stuff like that just because it's not a carbohydrate. Pam says, my husband has been eating the elimination with me. I am lucky he always supports me with working out. It's all about supporting each other. 38 years together. Wow, good for you. Good for you.
The little rascal has spirit.
Most people don't look at nutrition and training as a practice. Remember that you're practicing. You're practicing training. When you go to the gym, you're practicing going to the gym. You're practicing doing the training. When you're creating habits, when you're shopping and you're creating new habits, it might feel like it's taking longer because you're finally looking at ingredients for the first time. You're figuring out where you like to buy grass-fed beef. You're looking at different cuts. You're checking out different sites online to order from. So it might seem like a little bit more work up front, but once you have it locked down, you just copy, paste, repeat, and it's like anything else that you've ever done. So you're practicing cooking. You never really made your own meals. You always ate fast food. So it's just a practice. And what is it a practice of? It's a practice of, oh, if I want to eat at 6 o'clock, I got to start prepping at 4:30 or 5 and take the meat out. So it's thawed in time last night, the night before, and put it in the fridge, and then X, Y, and Z. You're just adjusting your habits. So the time, so you're going to be able to execute the task. And that's the only reason why it seems overwhelming. It's because you can't just take the meat and just put it in your mouth. You just have to cook it. It just takes a few minutes. You just have to learn those habits and have those things ready. It's not complicated. Why, Michael? Papa Swole, what do you eat at your family's gathering during the holidays? I often find myself having to cut back to lose the weight I gained during that period. I bring my own food. If we go somewhere, we've gone to like a dinner or we've gone to a thing, I'll eat first or I bring my own food. Or if we're going somewhere to eat, we go someplace or I'm going to have something that I can order or that I would want to order. Or I eat first and I go and I hang out. Mama Swole and I, when we go to any kind of event, if we do that, we'll cook some ribeyes before and we bring them in a container. And we have like white rice and big delicious steak and pickles or whatever we want to bring. So I don't care. If you are inviting me somewhere, you're inviting me. You're not, oh, you have to eat what I eat. That's not going to happen. I'll just bring my food or I'll eat first. It's not complicated. So what you're doing is you're being lazy. No offense, but you're making an excuse so you can eat the crap. So if you bring your food, you don't even have this question if you brought your food and you made the food that you should make and you ate the food that you should eat. You wouldn't even be asking this question. So it makes it a non-issue. So a lot of times people ask me questions about an issue that they create themselves. If you're eating the things that you should be eating, you're eating really good food, then you don't have to worry about like, oh my God, I gained all this weight. I did all this stuff. Well, if you just did that, it wouldn't even be an issue. You're creating problems and then stressing about the problems you created. Projector, why do you recommend raw milk when it's common knowledge that it's dangerous to drink it? That's not common knowledge. You've been brainwashed. It's not dangerous at all. I drink it all the time. So you're just ill-informed. which is no problem. You're not going to have knowledge until you learn about it. So once you gain that knowledge, you'll learn otherwise. Sheena, my husband was resistant to eliminating processed foods, but after a year in the Swole fam and turning my health around, he's finally on board. You just have to be the example and let the results speak. I'll bring this up on the screen. That's great. That's fantastic. So lead by example. This is something we also talk about. You keep your head down and do it, then you don't have to preach it. If you're making gains and you're looking great, and eventually people are going to ask you, they might chide you, they might poke at you. But then when they realize this is who you are, this is your identity, you take care of yourself, you execute, you do these things. Eventually they're going to be asking you questions because you've led by example and you've proved that this is the way it is. And understand that when it's friends and family and people that have known you your whole life, they've known you when you're eating crap, they've known you when you didn't go to the gym, they've known you when you didn't care. Subconsciously, people don't want to have a mirror held up to them as to what they're not doing, what they're not executing. So they get defensive and they lash out at what you're doing. But if you just keep your head down and execute regardless of what they think, a lot of times people come around or they'll see that you're crushing it and they'll just shut up. And if they don't shut up, it's like you're just going to care less and less, and then distance yourself from those people that are negative influences in your life. Understand that a lot of people in your life, just because they've been friends or you've been acquaintances, people change. And a lot of people don't work on themselves to improve, so they stay the same their entire life. And then you grow distant because you want to surround yourself with people that inspire you. And if these people don't inspire you, stop spending time with them. You could pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Sometimes you have to deal with your family and tune it out or just lead by example and prove it. Don't just talk the talk. Don't just tell other people to eat healthy and then eat shit. If they see you cheating and eating like crap, it's going to invalidate everything you say. Sydney says that's often the way people make changes, not from hearing that they should, but from seeing that they should. Lead by example, because you should be doing it for yourself anyway. And to be honest, when we talk about other people's opinions, it's their opinions. It's none of their business. Like, you're going to have thoughts and opinions about things. It's no one else's business what you think about what they do. You can have an opinion. You might even voice it. But when someone says in the comments, when I do like a post on Facebook or Instagram, it makes me realize how many retarded people there are in the world. Because I'll post something about like, don't do Ozempic, go to the fucking gym. And everyone's like, well, so-and-so was, diabetic and they took Ozempic and they lost all this weight. It's just a simple cop out and it's terrible for your health. Right? So what you need to do is just lead by example. Just lead by example. A lot of people don't want to make those changes and they don't want anyone around them to make changes because it makes them feel better about not making changes. That's why most people are, quote, normies. Most people are ignorant. Most people want to stay ignorant. Most people don't want the truth because it's uncomfortable. Most people don't want uncomfortable things. Most people don't want to get into a sauna because it's too hot. They don't want to get into a cold plunge because it's too cold. They don't want to lift weights because they get sore and it hurts. Most people are huge pussies. That's why most people are fat, broken, retarded, because they don't want to learn. They don't want to change their habits, and they don't want to think long term and make better choices. It's really not complicated. Nice. Nice. Any last minute questions? Last chance for questions. Make sure you subscribe on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole. And when we shut down on Instagram, that's where we're going to continue the stream. So make sure you follow the podcast and you can listen to all the episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts live every day for the past almost 9 years. So every day we have an episode. Most of the time it's video too. Sometimes it's audio, but check it out. The Daily Swole. Loretta says, very true. My family has very unhealthy habits and they're very ill because of it. I can't tell them anything. Again, you cannot work out for people. You can't eat for people. You could tell them whatever you want. They might smile and nod and like, oh, that's interesting. And then go and eat garbage. You can't change their habits. It's frustrating when you see someone that you care about. It's frustrating when you see someone that you care about that doesn't care about themselves. And it can create conflict because you're like, wake the fuck up. Don't you see what I'm doing? This is so obvious. It's so logical. People have their own path. And unfortunately, a lot of times they don't want to change and they're not going to change. You can't force them to change. And it's unfortunate, but it's their life. And if they want to trash themselves, they're going to trash themselves. And then I just think it's reprehensible and it's selfish if you're in a committed relationship, like you're married to someone and they trash their bodies, because when you take those marriage vows, for example, in sickness and in health, I think it's rude to walk your spouse through life knowing that you're going to be a liability, you know, like, hey, I'm going to trash my body, so you have to wipe my ass and push me around in a wheelchair. You know, you should be honoring the other person by taking care of yourself. And for your kids, you should be leading by example. Take care of yourself. Sheena says, my mom thinks just because I don't count calories that I should eat just whatever. I keep trying to tell her not all calories are created equal, but it doesn't sink in. Mark says, vows don't mean shit nowadays. I think they mean whatever they're not vows if they don't maintain them. Most people don't have a moral foundation. So most people don't tell the truth. Most people don't keep their word. Most people don't take action on what they say they will, because they lie to themselves. So they get used to their truth being molded and manipulated because they always lie to themselves. If you lie to yourself and you tell yourself you're working hard and you don't have time and all this kind of stuff, you just deep down, you're blurring your own integrity. You don't have any honesty with yourself, so you're not going to be telling the truth to other people. And then you're just full of shit. Ape Stats, what are your thoughts on vegan diets done right? That's an oxymoron. Eliminating the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet can't be done right. That's my opinion. I don't think you can do vegan right. I think some people can survive for a surprisingly long period of time doing all sorts of different things. There's some people that are drug addicts that do all sorts of stuff and they somehow don't succumb to it. Some people smoke packs of cigarettes every day and they live to be 100. So I think there's some fundamental differences than what you ask. I don't think people should be eliminating nutrient-dense food like steak and eggs and dairy and stuff like that. It's usually just an ideological approach. They don't want to hurt animals, or they think that cow farts damage the environment or some bullshit. So they're not really even doing it for their health. They're doing it because they want to virtue signal to other people that they're a good person, or they want to pretend that they're a good person by damaging themselves. People have different reasons for what they do. Most people don't go carnivore because of ideological reasons. They go carnivore because they want to improve their health and they're tired of having all these autoimmune issues and problems and morbid obesity, and they feel like fucking shit. So they do that for improving their health. People don't go carnivore for the environment or for climate change or any of that bullshit. And I say this because I've done this. I've tried all these diets. I've tried vegan, vegetarian. I've done these things and they're horrendous. So I speak from experience. It's not like I'm just trolling or saying things that are controversial. Once you try these things, you realize, oh, it's not controversial. It's just factual. There's a lot of people that are in denial. You can deny this stuff for a long time. And there are many people in this world that try to fit a square peg into a round hole. I just haven't done it right yet, or haven't done it long enough, or you can lie to yourself on a lot of things. Diana, what's your POV on the notion that an older person, someone older than 65, can't gain muscle mass? Well, that's not a notion. That's just a factually untrue. You can gain muscle at any age. You could build strength and muscle at any age. However, you're not going to be able to build muscle at 65 at the same rate that you would at 25. Can you improve your strength if you've never lifted weights and you start lifting at 65? Yeah, you're going to get stronger and you're going to build some muscle. But you're not going to build muscle at 65 the way that you will at 25. But you can get stronger and build muscle at any age. So hormones are better at 25. You think about an 80-year-old who's never lifted weights, you can make a lot of progress, but you're not going to have the same time frame. You're not going to have the same hormones. 80 years old, you're going to get stronger, but you have an 80-year-old and a 20-year-old that are both starting to lift for the first time. Who's going to make the most progress? You have better, your central nervous system is more adept. Your neurons are firing faster. You have all your myelin sheaths and all that stuff, right? And plus, if you've never worked out before and you're 60 or 70 years old, you have all those years of, you didn't build peak bone density. Your peak bone density is what, in your 30s? So lifting in your 20s and 30s is so paramount because that's the age range, like probably 30s range, where you'll be able to have the most muscle mass and bone density. So that's why you want to maximize that more in your youth, because then you have more you're at a higher level that's going to decay over time. So what you're doing lifting, you're making progress, but you're also trying to slow the descent because we're all going to waste away eventually. We're all going to die. But if you have more bone density in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you have more to drain from, so to speak, over time. And then, of course, you're slowing down. There's chronological age and biological age. So come on. I remember. All right. So go watch TV shows from the 80s or 70s, right? Wasn't Archie Bunker in his 40s or something? And he was like this old, haggard man. Go look at any kind of TV shows from the 70s or 80s. 40 in the 80s was you had back pain, all this stuff. You were done. If you're a 40-year-old in the 80s, go watch any kind of media and movies or TV shows. 40 was old. So now I'm 41. I'm training so fucking hard. I'm lifting stronger than I ever have. It's not the way it was. So this chronological age, sure, I'm 41 years old, but my performance, my strength training, it doesn't match my age. Bro, my girlfriend left me. What to do? Oof, go to the fucking gym. Go to the fucking gym. You'll get another girlfriend. Make her jealous. Fit twin dad, dude, 35 in the 1800s was a senior citizen, right? The Golden Girls, LOL, 45. Oof, yeah, they look like 80-year-olds today. I'm just saying, go back and watch some of their shows and then look at what the age that they were supposed to be. It's just night and day to what today is. You have guys like Joe Rogan and stuff like that are in their mid-late 50s and they're fucking training all the time and stuff like that. And sure, a lot of people today, they might take TRT and this, that, and the other. But you don't just take TRT and have muscle and you look great. You have to put in the work. And this is from putting in the work for the first 40, 50 years of your life. So I get questions about TRT all the time. I'm not taking it. I'm open to it. And if I find out hey, this would really help, and I talk to it, I get blood work done and okay, maybe there's something I want to consider. It's not I'm going to take some TRT and be I'm so much fucking bigger. I'm going to get on a bodybuilding stage. It's just going to replace and maybe top off and bring me to a higher level of testosterone than I would naturally because I'm getting older, and I'll be able to maintain my muscle mass longer and perform better because that's what I do. Maybe have a little bit more energy. Maybe I'll recover a little bit faster. Maybe I won't notice it too much. It depends on how much you're compensating for. If you have really low and you bring it up to a high level, you're going to notice a massive difference. But if you're already pretty good and then you take a little bit and you bring it up a little bit to the higher level, you might notice some things, but it might not be night and day. TRT stands for infertile. Like I said, most people in this world are retarded, so we keep getting proof of that. I don't think it stands for that. Karen says, just turned 59 at the beginning of the month, still making gains. Good for you, Karen. See, out in the world, a Karen is, a stupid middle-aged white woman. In the Swole fam, it's someone who makes gains. So we like our Karens here. Swole Karens are good. Sheena says, I told someone I had a 20-year-old son and they didn't believe me. They thought I was in my 20s when I'm about to be 42 next month. Health matters. Good for you. Oliver, I'm 41 as well. That's why I got out of construction. I fucked my body up, but working out, yoga, eating healthy again, even with my injuries, my body heals so much quicker. Good. Again, what you're doing now, and yes, I am aware that if you take like a lot of testosterone and stuff like that, it can affect your fertility, and I understand. We're talking about TRT. I'm not talking about like taking a ton of like sauce, you know. And everyone's different, right? Everyone's different. And this is why when you do it under doctor supervision, you get blood work done so you see where you're at and this, that, and the other. And again, we're doing this. This is to make, this podcast and Swolenormous X and the Swole fam. Yeah, it's to make gains. Yeah, it's to build muscle. Yeah, it's to look better and feel better. It's a long-term approach. I want to lift now. The reason why I've adjusted the way I lift, the reason why I care about how I train, the reason why I care about how I recover is because I want to do this and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And if you hurt yourself or you do stupid shit, that's what limits you. I remember my stepfather, he was lifting, all the way up into the end when he passed away, but he also had back problems, something like you're deadlifting with, all this weight for so many years, or you're working like construction or physical work. You want to think long term. So you want to make sure that you are compensating for any of your bad habits or things you've been exposed to in your life as soon as possible, because you want to train with a long-term mindset. That's why I don't do stupid shit that has a short-term vision. I don't care about like I don't care about ego lifting. I care about improving my rep strength. I don't care about, hey Papa, what's your 1 rep max? I don't know. I don't do it. I don't train like a power lifter, but I do, I said do. I do 4 rep max or a 5 rep max, meaning I go to 0 RIR. I train hard. And what a lot of people do, unfortunately, is as they get older, whatever you want to call older, they don't train as hard. And that's exactly the opposite. And that's a shame. And that's what I'm talking about here all the time. As you get older, you don't train. People say, like, well, I don't train as hard because I don't want to get hurt and I'm getting older. I can't train as hard as I used to. That's stupid. That's bullshit. You should be training even harder than you did because you have all this experience and muscle mass and joint integrity. You just don't do the same type of volume, and or you focus more on recovery. Maybe you take more recovery days. You increase the frequency and decrease the volume. I train really, really hard. But I absolutely don't train the way that I did at 20. If I train the way I do now at 20, I'd be fucked up because I definitely did too much volume when I was younger. I definitely did. I train just as hard, if not harder, than I did when I was 20, though. I just don't do the same kind of volume, and I have many more recovery days, and I have more of a structure that's built around optimizing my recovery. I was doing T-bar rows with like 6 plates and a 10. I'm training harder than I ever have before, but I'm not doing 5 different exercises. I'm not doing 20 sets for back. I'm doing 2 sets, and I train all out, and then I recover. So it's the opposite of what people think. They pull back. Oh, I'm getting older, so I'm going to train easier. No. You want to focus more. You want to train harder because you have to maintain your strength, but you want to maintain your strength with less volume so you can maximize your recovery and minimize fatigue. So it's not that you train less hard, it's that you train hard, just as hard as you did before. You just have to be more mindful of your recovery. And everyone's different. As you get older, it'll take you longer to recover than others. And this is why people like taking TRT and stuff, because it aids in recovery. Does that make sense? Hashtag Make America Swole. Drop that in the comments. We're live on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole. So if you're on Instagram, click the link in bio and go and shift on over to YouTube or Rumble. And we're going to be going into some balls deep in just a moment. So when we shut down here, the podcast continues. Just make sure you go and subscribe on Rumble or YouTube. Rumble is better because YouTube gets blocked. Did yesterday, and it does once in a while. So if we get banned or suspended over there, the show goes on. Subscribe on Rumble and, of course, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Let's see here. Yeah, Fit Twin Dad, former D1 Big Ten athlete here. Yes, you know exactly what it's like to overtrain or to push yourself to the limit. Quality over quantity is something I only discovered after my athletic career. It's a superpower for strength and hypertrophy. It's a big myth that as you get older, you don't train as hard. It's so stupid. I train so hard and I can load up the weight so much, I just don't need the volume, nor can I handle the volume. I don't need to handle the volume. If you can have good form through a full range of motion and progressively overload, and you can keep that and that last rep is the same quality as that first rep, and you're doing 5 reps, 0 reps in reserve, I can't do that, nor do I need to do that more than once. 1 to 2 sets per body part, That's not per exercise, working set. So for chest, let's say today's Tuesday, so Sunday, it's fucking tight. I did 2 sets I have a supine, old school hammer strength, supine converging plate loaded chest press, fucking great machine. And I did 2 sets. First set, I did 5 reps. And the second set, I got 8. I dropped the weight slightly. I did 8 reps. That's all I did for chest to 0 RIR. Great. And then day after tomorrow, I'll hit it again. Like, I'm feeling it because I'm going so close to that limit. I don't need to do more. I created the stimulus and I don't want to do junk volume. Doing a 3rd, 4th, 5th set, then adding flies, then adding an incline, then adding dips. It's just overkill. It would take me 5-6 days to recover, and frequency is more important. You're better off doing 4 sets. You're better off doing 2 sets twice a week, Monday and Friday, or Monday, Thursday, or Monday, Saturday, Monday, Thursday. Everyone's going to recover differently. So you're better off doing 2 sets twice a week, 4 total sets, than 4 sets on Monday and then hitting it on Monday again. If we're talking chest, just because Monday's International Chest Day, quote unquote. So you're better off doing twice a week and splitting it up than doing it once a week. So 4 sets, 2 sets, and then 2 sets is better than doing 4 sets and then waiting a week. So my recommendation, this is what we do with Maximum Swole inside Swolenormous X, is we have different splits where you can test and see what you like the best. If you're able to increase strength, recover, that's probably a good split for you long term. If you burn out and you feel like, oh, I'm not recovering as much, again, when you try a split, let's say Maximum Swole, again, go to swolenormousx.com and check out the membership specials. Check out, what I'm talking about here. If you're doing a training split, you might find that training split works well for a couple weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You feel great. And then on that 4th week, you just start feeling, you're still a little bit sore. You're kind of dragging. You kind of feel like, oh, everything else is the same. Your numbers kind of stagnate. You just feel a little bit sore, or the progressive overload isn't happening. Just because it works well for a week or 2 doesn't mean it's going to work well on week 4, 5, 6, or 7. So what that means is you have to adjust your split, add a little bit more recovery, or leave a rep in the tank and adjust, and then see if it works better. And I talk about this all the time. I tried doing 2 on, 1 off. I kind of still battle with that. It just doesn't, I can't stick with it. It wears me down a little bit. So doing every other day, or in fact, doing every other day and sometimes having 2 days in between, and I'm not doing nothing. I'll do maybe some forearms, or maybe I'll do some club swing, or I'll do a little bit of, a long walk, or I'll do yoga or mobility. So those in-between days are fine, but the high intense training, 4 days a week is the most. But whenever I give an extra recovery day, my numbers usually always go up. So as much as I like to lift more often, or I would like to lift, I have to look objectively at what the reality is. If I give extra recovery, what I would think is extra recovery, if I kind of expand it a little bit and do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, or Monday, Wednesday, and then Saturday, Monday, if I need an extra day, I take it. I see that progressive overload continuing. So it's, well, for me, for my recovery, for what I'm doing, that works best. The numbers don't lie. So you can try to force it all you want, but you're just going to stunt your progress. So maybe you like to do two upper lower rest. Maybe you like that and you can do it. If I did upper lower rest, I'd have to cut down my volume so much. I just don't like it as much. I don't enjoy it as much. I don't feel like I'm getting as much out of it. And I still feel like even if I cut down my volume in half and do 2 on, 1 off, I still feel worn down just because I trained hard on the Monday. Tuesday is going to suffer, and then 1 day off. And then I got to train intensely again. Even with the volume, it's just the fact that I created that stimulus and my central nervous system is still fatigued. I train really hard and I'm 41. I can't do it the way I used to, which is fine. But most people don't change. They still try to train like they did when they were 23 and they keep hitting a wall and they wonder why they're not making progress. And I have a good pump, but I'm not getting stronger. I'm not building muscle. How come? It's because you're not thinking about it properly. Volume doesn't build muscle. Being sore doesn't build muscle. Getting a pump does not build muscle. You can get a pump I can get a pump doing 15-pound dumbbells for 30 reps. You're flushing a lot of blood to the muscle. I can get a pump. It's not going to build me muscle. I'm better off curling 55s for 4 or for 5 reps to failure. You might not get a pump. Chances are you might a little bit, but you're going to build strength over time because you're minimizing fatigue and you're getting that central nervous system and the motor units and the motor neurons firing. Aaron Oates, 1, Papa, if Trump rang, would you accept his offer to be his personal trainer and nutritionist, but you have to move to Washington? Ooh. Ooh. So I'd have to move to DC. Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely, without hesitation. It's only for a short period of time. He's only going to be president for this time period. Not just like not just from like a publicity, but like, am I able to all right, how about this? Am I able to post about it? Am I able to post in my stories that I'm the personal trainer for the fucking president? Am I able to post about that and use it for social media? I'd fucking do it anyway. I do it without that. Just to have that experience. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, I'd do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. That'd be dope. Just to experience that. And even if it does get old and like, all right, I want to do it. It's a short period of time. That'd be so fucking cool. Yes, I can. Oh, done. Dude, yeah, can you imagine? Everyone knows Trump eats shit and all this stuff. If I'm able to like train him and I can post about it, this like every post would just get 50 million views. Can you imagine people following that? Trump's fitness journey? That'd be fucking awesome. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd be able to tell people to go to the fucking gym from the Oval Office. Absolutely, I would do it. Absolutely, I would do it. Are you kidding me? I couldn't live with myself turning that down just for the experience and just for the memory. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go. I wouldn't enjoy the invasion of my privacy because my shit would get blown up. I'd be a white supremacist and I don't know. Papa Swole would have trained Hitler. Papa Swole was training Hitler. I'm Hitler's personal trainer. It'd be fucking awesome. Streaming the podcast from like the White House. Dope. Yeah, that'd be stupid to turn that down. Anything to help this country and help him. Like, fuck yeah, that'd be so sweet. That'd be so sweet. Elon just popping in like, 2 more reps. And like drop out. Just Elon just like fucking running around the White House. That'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome. Nothing would really change, right? I mean, I guess everything would change. I would not want to move to DC though. Oh, gross. Like, where would I live? I have to commute to the White House and like, ugh, and the weather. Fuck that. I've been to DC. I've been all, ugh, I would never want to. That'd be the only reason why I would move to. Yeah, Elon's a weird dude, but what a net positive for this country. So this is what we're about to move on. So actually, let's shut down Instagram. Let's move balls deep. So if you're watching on Instagram, come on over to the Daily Swole on Rumble or YouTube. The stream is going to continue. So link is in my bio. Thanks for being here, but come follow the rest of the podcast. We're going to continue. So what I'm going to say is, let's go balls deep. Mm-hmm. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's deep. So what I was going to say about that is, let's see. Actually, I forgot what I was going to say. Elon. Oh, so when anyone says about, Trump doing like the shit coins, the Trump and the Melania coin, and, I saw someone post on X, he's like, well, come on, like, your guy, this is your guy, what gives? I mean, I voted for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump, but I don't support President Trump because of every last thing that he says or does. That's the weird thing that the left always comes after, because they're in a cult and they have to believe every last thing. Anything that anyone says in the Democratic Party you have to agree down the line. Most people that support Trump don't agree with everything. Why would I agree with every last thing that someone does or says? I don't have to agree with how he does everything. I don't have to agree with every last thing. You got to take the good with the bad. No one's perfect. So with Elon, he's autistic as fuck and he does weird dances and he like jumps up and yeah, like he's weird. Okay, cool. He's also like the most amazing visionary entrepreneur in human history. And he's very consistent with his takes on things. It's just like you take the good with the bad. No one's perfect. So yeah, I support all these people. And for the slight negatives here and there, like, I wouldn't have done that, or I wouldn't have acted like that, or done that arm movement, or this and there. It's like, yeah, probably not good in retrospect, but get over it. Move on. If Trump says something, it's like, I probably shouldn't have tweeted that, or I wouldn't have tweeted that in that way, but I'm not him. And I'm not the president of the United States. And he's there for a reason. And he got there because of the way he is. So it's like, would you rather the opposite? No. You gotta, people are weird, man. My God, how many things have I said? If you put all the things I've ever said and ever tweeted or ever posted, do I agree with every last thing? No, I have still videos that I have videos of me saying on YouTube, like, I eat Sour Patch Kids. This is why I eat that. I haven't eaten Sour Patch Kids in like 6 years. And I would never recommend, but I leave stuff up there because if I can stop eating that crap and I realize how much poison it is and I stop, so can you. What one man can do, another can do. So I leave all that up there because I'm not embarrassed by it. That's how I was. I'm not like that now. It's okay to change and change your opinions and learn and be like, well, that was retarded. That was stupid. I wouldn't say that now. I don't even agree with most of the stuff I said. I probably said stuff in this podcast I don't agree with now. I don't know. I don't remember what happened yesterday. I've talked so much over the past 9 years. So whatever. I don't care. You have to not give a shit. You have to not give a shit. Oh, but you said this 10 years ago. I don't give a fuck. Oh, you said something mean. No, you're just weak. You're just a pussy. Get over it. This is what I was going to say. Someone said something about what I posed. Oh, it was about Ozempic in the gym. And someone said, oh my God, now you made me feel really bad about X, Y, and Z. I'm like, I didn't make you feel anything. I'm right. And you feel guilty or bad about what choices you've made. I'm not making you feel upset. I'm not making you feel bad. You are feeling bad because of something internal with yourself. It's not me. I'm not making you do anything. If you see something online and you get upset by it, that's because you have poor emotional control or it's true. And I hit home and you're embarrassed by it to yourself. So deal with your shit. I didn't make you do anything. Oh, Mr. Mustard. You're so cute, big boy. Oh, sweet man. I gotta pet the tainty man. Oh. You sweet boy. I love you. You sweet tainty man. Why, Michael? I used to like Elon Musk, but he's just annoying the hell out of me with all his antics. Like what? What antics? And again, you don't have to like, you can like who you like and dislike who you dislike. We're in a great spot in this country. So again, pros and cons. There are far many pros, much more pros than cons. So that's all I'm saying. Okay. We're ready. We got balls deep. Let's see what we got here. Balls deep. Yeah. Balls deep. Balls deep. Balls deep. Balls deep. Balls deep. Let me see. let's get amped because I thought this was funny. Has everyone seen the memes of like Mark Zuckerberg looking down, maybe checking out Jeff Bezos' wife's like, what are you wearing, by the way? I know there were a lot of people that were pushing on this. Like, she was wearing X, Y, and Z. And I was like, what's the big deal? All right, so there's cleavage. I didn't realize it was just open with like a bra there. That's pretty, for an inauguration, that's pretty. This is a meme, by the way, but that's a little much. I mean, but here's the thing. You ready for this? You cannot tell me. This is very much like a Kanye West thing or a Kim Kardashian thing where you just know how to get the attention on you. This is smart. It's smart. I know. I mean, I know like her, you know, you can, I mean, most of us would probably agree like, yeah, I wouldn't recommend wearing that to an inauguration. However, you have all the most powerful, famous people in the world in one spot and you take the limelight. That's just good marketing. So it's good marketing. You get the conversation about yourself. People are like, it's, oh my God. But guess what you're talking about? You're talking about her. So just a thought there. Just a thought there. Okay. Oh, this is so funny. Let's do a couple more. This is so funny. J. Rue breaking Trump to bang Doug Emhoff today. And that was Kamala's husband. So watch this. This is on November 3rd, 2024. So Kamala Harris posted this. I already told my husband on January 20th, 2025, he will sleep with the next president of the United States. So J. Rue posted breaking Trump to bang Doug Emhoff today.
Matt Damon.
I thought this was glorious. Oh my God. I thought it was absolutely glorious. The next president, because she thought she was going to win or pretending like she was going to win. So now Trump's got a, so now he's got a banger. He's got a bang. I thought that was great. Absolutely hilarious. Oh my God. The internet is great. The internet remains undefeated. Absolutely undefeated. All right. Let's move on. Let's see the next thing. So great. All right. This is reposted from, this was great. I reposted this because finally Trump has the POTUS account back. So we're going to watch this because it's obviously just America pump up video, but we're still fresh off yesterday's inauguration. So POTUS is back. Fucking President Trump is back. He says, every single day I will be fighting for you with every breath in my body. I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. Let's watch this video. Eagle. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. How are you not amped? How are you not amped? Fuck you if you're not amped. Fuck you if you're not amped. Okie dokie. And one more. I thought this was funny. If you've seen Good Will Hunting, I just cracked up. So you can follow me on Twitter, on X, at Swolenormous, if you want to catch these. A lot of you follow me there, so you've probably seen this already. Just made me laugh. I love memes, and we're back. The memes president has returned. So let's watch.
Do you know how easy this is for me? Do you have any fucking idea how easy this is? This is a fucking joke. And I'm sorry you can't do this. I really am, because I wouldn't have to fucking sit here and watch you fumble around and fuck it up.
Look at the Biden meme.
Do you know how easy this is for me? Do you have any fucking idea how easy this is? This is a fucking joke. And I'm sorry you can't do this. I really am, because I wouldn't have to fucking sit here and watch you fumble around and fuck it up. Do you know how easy this is for me?
I love the meme. I love the Joe Biden video or the clip that they used for him. That was great. Okay. All right. Oliver says, I got to go. Going to run through a brick wall. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. We all feel like we want to run through a brick wall. It's just a great time. It's a great time. All right. Pick a number 1, 2, 3, or 4. We're running long. That's what she said because he got a huge dong. Because. Pick a number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Pick a number and we'll play that video. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Pick a number and we'll play the video. Positive Charisma, number 4. This one's called Too Cold. Too Cold. These might be inauguration related videos. Let's see. Too Cold. Is this Don Lemon?
Really, to have your inauguration outside because the temperature is going to be 23 degrees. Okay, let's just put this into perspective.
And windy.
It was 7 for Reagan. It was 22 for Kennedy. It was 28 degrees for Barack Obama with winds somewhere in the 20 mile an hour range as well. It was freezing. So I'm not sure it's the cold. I think maybe it's that you're afraid of the crowd sizes and that hotels are still available.
Oh
and that a lot of people, as many people as, showed up for Barack Obama or Joe Biden or whatever, won't be showing up for your inauguration. I think it's the crowd sizes. That number is more important than the temperature number.
Do you know how many people would have been there if it was outside? Now, just because it's been cold, we watched the whole inauguration yesterday. To be honest, why don't they always do it like that? I thought it was better yesterday. Why should people be outside sitting there fucking freezing to death? It was much colder than everyone. It was much colder than the 23 degrees. Everyone was saying it afterwards, like it was fucking freezing. Why should you be outside? Why is it ever outside? Yesterday was great, right? You had the nice dome, the acoustics. I thought it was awesome yesterday. People could sit in there and chill out. I don't know. After yesterday, it actually brought to my attention, why aren't we all, it's safer? Why aren't we always doing this? Why isn't it always inside? Right? Don't forget, during all these other presidencies, you didn't have the same type of social media apparatus and people filming from every angle. Everyone's watching on their phones and TVs. Everyone's got a camera on their phone. Like, you don't need it to be outside. Donald Trump is afraid of crowd sizes. Yeah, he's had hundreds of thousands of people at like single rallies. Yeah, I'm sure Donald Trump is afraid of crowd sizes. This guy's such a fag. Really. Yeah, afraid. I'm sure that's what it was. Afraid of crowd sizes. Yeah, that's right, Don. Enjoy your irrelevance for the rest of your life. What a joke. Sydney says, I feel like we need Papa ringtones. Should someone tell her? Sydney, I don't know where you've been, but we got you. If you head on over to papaswolio.com, I'll bring it up on the screen because that's what we do here. Look at this guy. Look at that dude. Look at that dude. Fucking checked. Go right up here. I'm going to zoom in. Right there. Alarms and ringtones. So give that a little clicky McClickerson. Boom. And you got your ringtones. We got a lot of ringtones. We could have more, but these are the ones that we have so far. So check them all out. We got ringtones. And it's okay. I don't expect everyone to know what we have, but go check it out. Excuse me. Sydney says joining the fam today. All right, you're clear. Sydney's joining the fam. Welcome to the fam. Yeah, check it out. Check it out. Cerny says someone's not paying attention. Sydney, you're not paying attention? God damn it, Sydney. All right. Sydney, you get to pick the next one. Oh, that's very nice of you, Elizabeth. Welcome to the Swole fam, Sydney. Welcome. Thank you, Elizabeth. Aaron saying, have I been to a rally? I have not been to a Trump rally. I have not. I'm not a fan of crowds. So we talk about crowd sizes. I'm not a fan of crowd sizes. That's why I don't have 100,000 people rallies. I'm not really a fan of big crowds anymore. I wouldn't want to go through all that, but I'm sure it's cool. I'm sure it's cool. It looks like good energy. Not against it though. But hey, if I'm Trump's personal trainer, I'll be at the rallies, right? Okay, let's do Loretta Bandit number 2. This is called Jump Rope. Oh, this was just cool. All right. I feel like this is AI, but it's not. It's so crazy that's not AI. I'm going to remove the bottom bar. You got to check this out. This title of this video is called Chinese Teenager Sen Zhaolin. Zhen Zhaolin. It's C-E-N. I don't know if this is I don't know if I pronounce it wrong. It's fine. Breaks Chinese teenager Shen Zhaolin breaks own record in jump rope contest. Ready for this? He jumps. How many of you jump rope? I like jump rope. I think it's great to get that kind of rebounding and the bounce and the spring in your step, like sprinting and stuff. Breaks his own record in jump rope contest. He jumps 228 times in 30 seconds.
Wow.
Watch this. I mean, I guess people are amazing, so it's got to be real, but what the fuck? Just watch this. It's a big what the fuck. Just check this out.
Set.
Bro, what? No, what the fuck? That was even 30 seconds. That was a 17-second video. Because you burn out. We'll play it again because it you think it can't be real, but obviously some people just like, what the fuck? Play it again. That wasn't 30 seconds, but what in the actual? We'll get a round of applause for that. That's insane. That's insane. I saw that on TikTok and I'm like, all right, we got to pull this for the show. That was just, I don't know. Okay. You mean 228 times in 15 seconds or 10? I don't know what that was. He definitely doesn't lift. I don't know, man. That's, I don't even know what happened. I don't even know where the jump rope is. Just think that was a jump rope. Most people couldn't even do that without a jump rope. That's insane. All right, we're going to do, as Gad Sad calls it, occasional cortex. An occasional cortex, AOC. We'll do that. That's what Gad Sad calls AOC, an occasional cortex, which is fucking hilarious because she's retarded. All right, we'll do that one last. This one's called Parents' Rights. Parents' Rights. Oof.
One of the things that a lot of people have said when they stood for my video about parents' rights is that parents' rights is not a right-wing idea. And obviously, all parents have the right to take care of their children the way they choose, to make choices about their children's well-being, their education, etc.
I'm going to pause right there. Parents' rights does not mean you get to mutilate your children or psychologically abuse them. So there's a line. There's a line. You can't just do whatever you want with your kids. You can't you can't rape your kids. Like there's certain things. You can't just have all the rights. Well, it's my kid. I'll do what I want. There's a line. There's human rights issues, right? Okay.
What I meant when I said that this idea of parents' rights that the right wing is bringing up often is that recently we're seeing in the political sphere a lot of people in the Republican Party and a lot of people in the right wing are using the term parents' rights to mean something very specific. So they're using this like very particular meaning when they're discussing it. So they're not using it in a general sense. They're using parents' rights to refer to a parent's right to know about their child's gender and sexuality, a parent's right to make decisions about their child's gender and sexuality, and a parent's right to reject or not support their student's gender and sexuality. And that is the part that I have an issue with.
Of course you do.
As I said before, I see my role as an educator as collaborating with kids, families, and their caregivers, and their other teachers, and their administrators and counselors, and their community as a whole.
Homeschool your kids.
To support them in the best ways possible and in the ways that they need. And I do stand by my statement that parents who reject their children's gender identities and their children's sexual orientations.
This is some sick, twisted shit. Again, how does a child know about trans stuff? How does a child, they don't know until they're programmed. So what happens is you send your kids to these fucking groomers. They implant this garbage in your children's head, or you're watching Disney and they're putting woke shit that's getting into your children's heads, and they come and ask the parents, and you're like, and the teacher is saying, you know, your parents are not on your side. They don't understand. Like, this is who you are. In other words, they're not her kids. So this is psychological abuse. This is psychological abuse. And if your teacher looks like this, that should be like, this should not be the way this is not how a teacher should present themselves. And when I say that with people should have freedom, but when you are, especially when you're in, let's say, a public school that's taxpayer funded, which is, you know, we should abolish the Department of Education. There's a lot of things that need to be overhauled. This should not be, you shouldn't have tattoos all over your body or exposed tattoos. You shouldn't have pink and purple and snow cone colored hair and rainbow earrings. Like, that's a mental disorder. Okay. You're desperate for attention and acceptance. And this is why these people stay within these bubbles and teach kids, because kids are innocent and they can just get off on their own sexual fetishes by explaining this kind of delusion to children. So it's mental illness begetting more mental illness.
Are not taking care of their children, because there is a mountain of evidence that demonstrates
There's not.
that supporting,
don't say
and
suicide,
accepting and affirming a child's gender identity and a child's sexual orientation is literally, it is suicide prevention.
Oh my God. This has been proven exactly the opposite. Okay. Affirming child's gender and self-mutilation. This leads to a dramatic uptick in suicide. Save your kids, bring them to the middle of nowhere, move them to the middle of fucking Montana, get them away from this. And I'm sure a lot of these, like, you know, places in the middle of nowhere get them away from this kind of environment.
Literally, it is, helps them with their mental health,
doesn't,
their academic performance, with attendance in school,
doesn't,
and with their long-term success.
It doesn't. Jesus Christ.
So.
Yeah, cool story. Nice ending.
You went full retard, man.
Okay, we'll move right along. Remember when you were in school? When I was in school, I didn't even know my teacher. It was Ms. or Miss or Mrs. I didn't know if they were married. I knew nothing about their private life. It was just like a woman that was teaching. There was nothing, no sex stuff, no weird shit like that. It was nothing. None. Zero. Not one instance of it. Not one. As it should be. Okay. Shout out to Nikki. Welcome. Nikki was asking questions on Instagram. Subscribing to your YouTube. Thanks for answering all my questions on Instagram, Papa Swole. You're very welcome. Thanks for being here. And again, if you want to learn more about everything else that we have, check out swolenormousx.com. Check out the links to join the Swole fam and, you know, taking your fitness to the next level and trying our programs in yoga studio and all that stuff. So welcome to the channel, Nikki. Thanks for being here. Sydney says, when I was in public high school, we weren't allowed to have any colorful hair. Cool. As it should be. Okay, last one, and then we'll give away the Swole card. This is, let's see, Swole card is Make America Swole, as we are currently making America Swole. As we are here, there are more executive orders and stuff going down. 47 getting right to work. Stoked. It's only the beginning. This one's from AOC, otherwise known as an occasional cortex. Not my abbreviation, but very funny, so I'm going to use it.
All these journalists are like, Congresswoman, are you going to the inauguration? Congresswoman, are you going to the inauguration? Are you going to the inauguration? Let me make myself clear. I don't celebrate rapists.
What?
So no, I'm not going to the inauguration tomorrow.
Trump's not a rapist. And also, by the way, AOC is from New York, where they just catch and release. They let rapists go. They let murderers go free. So she doesn't support rapists, but she supports destitution, crime, and leftist rioting. So I believe I can speak for all of us when I say...
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Literally fuck your own face. So hopefully maybe there's some lawsuits brought against her for slander, but whatever. Okay, she's not well. She's not mentally all there. I will say that I think now, look, anyone that thinks that the left and the Democrats are all of a sudden going to be middle of the road, they're going to pull back, quite the opposite. You have festered all these lunatic cult members to the most extreme aspects of the left. It's just going to ramp up. And I think because it's such an overwhelming victory for conservatives, for Republicans, for America First, which is insane. If you want anything aside from America First, you're essentially a traitorous piece of shit. Like, you don't want America first, then what are you doing here? Move out. We live in America. We want America first. Why wouldn't we? So, like, they're going to continue to go rant. They're going to continue with this communist bullshit, and they're just going to dig themselves a hole, and it's going to be Vance, Gabbard, or whatever it is in 2028. Like, we're just going to run a train on this country for the next decade, which is great. So keep it up. Keep it up. Let's do a throwback, and then we'll give away the Swole card.
Away from aspects of diet culture, but it is unhealthy to be overweight. No way around it.
Based.
This is a perfect example of weight stigma.
Are you fucking retarded?
You cannot tell how healthy a person is just by looking at them.
Are you fucking retarded? Fucking retarded? Are you fucking retarded?
You can get a really good idea.
Cannot tell how healthy a person is by the size or the shape of their body. Or what category of the BMI they fit into. These assumptions harm people.
Not as much as the garbage foods and the terrible habits that they perpetuate. Jesus Christ. What a good edit. All right, fam. The next 4 years are going to be great. Let's fucking go. Make America Swole. Let's give away the Swole card. Here we go. Beaches. My God. What a man cast. We're back. We're so back. How does it feel to be back? How does it feel to be back? Scroll, scroll, scroll. It's close. It's not literally Make America Swole, but I'll take it. Landed right on it. I like it. Oliver Hall says make Trump swole again. I agree. Close enough. Congratulations, Oliver.
Congratulations.
Close enough. It's a hashtag, and it's true. We should make Trump swole. Can you imagine him? Donald Pump. I got the shirt. We got the shirt over there. We got the shirt over at popswole.com. Donald Pump, the brand new Donald Pump design. Make Trump swole again. I like it. Make America Swole. Congratulations, Oliver. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3182 in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email, fam. That's what I got for you today. And we're back tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe, share the show with your friends. Again, make sure that you leave a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. And, you know, definitely write a review if you haven't yet done so. A lot of you have also left a review for the app in the Swolenormous in the App Store. So if you have not yet left a 5-star review in the App Store for the Swolenormous app, take a moment, do that. Go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave a review on the podcast. It really helps a lot. So if you're in a happy mood because America's back, go leave a couple 5-star reviews on the app and on the podcast. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you tomorrow for 3183. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose, ya boy. Papa Swolio. Oh, 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 oh.
crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
that's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, chill. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Ay, yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element.